Okay, so I thank God for everything.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
thank God for everything that He's really doing,
He's a good God.
and I pray for the listener that may God reach your hearts. May God reach your hearts, and may God reveal Himself to you as a listener, and come to know that hey, God is there for us. So this is the time we have really celebrated the outgoing officials.
Yes.
We have celebrated them, and they are now preparing now for the exams. They're preparing, and it's like, the more they are doing all of these things, I'll be also trying to also prepare for our own exams. And also, the more they're doing that, and also I'm also continuing my life on the other side, and it's like God came to make me realize that He came in the way He came in that manner of connecting me to other people, because also He knew that there are some places that I could not do alone. There are some places that I could find depression along the way. Like, God knew.
So He was surrounding yourself with the people who mattered.
With some people matters. And they acted as a security. God brought them to act like security in my life. And I thank God for everything. The more I'm continuing with my education, at the same time with some of the things that God is embedding inside my life and is revealing in my life, and trying to also to catch up with those things. Also Madam Rose Kadiga, she's there supporting with all her heart, supporting with all her heart, passionately. Bring this thing out. It's a greatness that is embedded inside this point. So
so it's like the moment you asked her to take off the burden, burden, God burdened her.
Oh
just like
my
that.
goodness, she took it over. And I thank God for also using her own phone and gadgets, technology gadgets, just to help me out. We also did one of the first shows, and this one was also about to go to the YouTube, but there was some of the things that we first wanted to do so that it can be there out. But we did a lot. We really did a lot. And the first show we did, and I remember we did it with one of the guy who God also come to reveal him later on. It was called Jesse Mwangi. But God, we did that show, and it's like, it was amazing. And also Mr. Biko. Mr. Biko was also among the people who are...
Mr. Biko, God wanted you to meet Mr. Biko in a certain way.
Imagine,
the physics teacher.
Yeah, in the physics, he was a friend to Madam Rose Kadiga.
Yeah.
And
you are meeting this guy and this guy.
I was escaping. I was escaping this guy.
Yeah, God is bringing him around.
God is bringing him again around to be able to help us in adjusting some of the things, the camera and all of these things. And he was there helping out. And it was amazing. And the more also I'm continuing this side to grow and come up, there's something here the devil was trying to do also at the same time. There was so much attack in my mind. There was so much attack that brought in frustration and depression at the same time, and struggle at the same time in part of education, part of education, academic part. I found myself, the grades that I had, it's like my every single time I do an exam, my grades are dropping. I'm dropping, and every single time I'm asking myself,
you're going up spiritually, dropping academically.
Academically, it's dropping.
Spiritually, you're going up.
Spiritually, I'm growing up, and also in terms of the passion that God is embedding inside my life, it's going up. In terms also of writing, it's moving up. I don't know.
In terms of exams, you're dropping.
I'm dropping. A guy who was at grade B is coming down up to C plane. It's like, what I don't know. I could not understand. It really hurt me a lot. It is one of the worst moments of my life.
Okay.
This was one of the worst moments of my life. In school. I really struggled to understand. God, I'm serving you. God, I'm doing all things for you. I've done what you've told me.
Yes.
Okay, in some other ways, some point, in some areas, I never did as you told me, but God have tried my best as a human being to serve you. Even though I had a lot of weaknesses in my life, but I've tried my best to do so.
Yes.
And so I was asking God many questions. Why my grades are dropping down? Every single time I'm doing an exam, instead of an improvement, it is coming down. So I was asking God why. It really hurt me. It is one of the worst moments of my life. It is an example, and this is what the image I was seeing in my life, an image of an ocean, an endless ocean. It's like you can see that ocean and you cannot be able to, you're seeing this ocean and you're asking yourself, how will I come out of this, on this side to move on the other side, or to cross on the other side, over on the other side, into a better place. Not this place. I was completely depressed. This was the moment, like, my faith also was put to test.
Oh my goodness.
This
is the point where the devil laughs at us.
Yeah,
and try to challenge us.
And try to challenge us. And it's like, oh my goodness, it was so tough. Very tough. Very tough in my life. And, at this moment is when God is also helping. And remember, when all of these things were happening to me in my life, it's like heaven is not even moving, or you cannot even feel heavens at the same time.
It was
at
quiet.
That moment, it was quiet. It's like it's a quiet moment of God, where God is. It's the moment where God is quiet, and it's that moment you need Him to really try to appear and to help you out. I've done everything, God. I need you. But the more I'm doing it,
it's quiet.
It's quiet. And then we did our the exam that we did, an end-term examination, which was to promote us to the next class. We did it, and it's like when we did this exam, the more it got worse.
Got worse for you.
From C plain to C minor.
You're going down. I'm
going down, 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 down. Every single time I'm doing it, down, down. And I'm telling you the fact. This is the moment I really saw God at the same time. Even though He was quite not speaking to me, but there is how the grace of God was leading me through.
And manifestation
of grace. And it's like I came to realize Madame Rose Kadiga was not really focused on what I really get, or maybe I cared about whether you do the best or worst. She cared about how is your relationship with God, and how are you. It's like it was supporting and fighting for the faith that you had, and also the passion and the greatness that was lying within your heart.
Oh my goodness!
That you're going to do it, Joel. It's like you're going to do it. You're not a failure. You're not a failure.
You're not defined by this.
You're not defined. Do not come down.
What a teacher!
Come up, rise up.
What a teacher!
And she told me, when you go home, when you will come back, we will start strategizing how you will be doing your studies within the weeks, and how you'll be also helping with some English papers, because she was a teacher of literature, and she was helping us a lot. So she told me, I will be helping you out on how you can also get connection to other teachers, and try to help you with some papers, and you can be doing them in the middle of the week. Wow. Maybe how you can study, how you can make your timetable, and how you can study, and how you can come up. And so she entered in that moment to really help me out. This is the moment I really needed somebody
to stand alongside
me. This is the moment I needed somebody to hold my hands. And surely
God was there.
God was there. And through Madame Rose, God is manifesting Himself. And it's like I'm seeing God through her. And I'm telling you, it was worse. It was worse. I remember even before we closed the school, because it's like we have finished the examination, but we had a longer period of time before closing the school. So this time around, it's like we're interacting with her. We are also planning on how you will be able to improve in your part of your life show. Those kind of things. We are discussing those projects and how we can come up. And I'm telling you, there's a time now when just in the middle of those days, I went to her. I was carrying one of I told her I will bring to you some of the things that I've been writing,
Okay.
that contains God's wisdom, that God have been communicating to me to communicate to the students.
Yes, yes.
And so I took that chance to go and take my file and come and show her. She was going through my file, and it's like she was amazed.
But this guy.
She was amazed. You know, she was really amazed. She came across one of the wisdom that was saying my son. So that was a word from my father that I quoted. That really, I used to think of it over and over, and it used to help me a lot. You know, I used to meditate a lot and deeply in the words of my father, because they carried a certain life. They carried a certain weight. It's like a certain life for you. A certain it's like some kind of a charge every single time you read it, every single time you meditate. You meditate upon that word. It charges you. It gives you strength to move on.
Yes.
And it's like she read this word. It was saying that my son, when a demand meets a supply, that's a business.
Yep.
You know, and she was amazed. Joel, come here, come and explain to me this. How is this thing related? What do you mean by demand?
When demand meets the supply.
The supply. You know, she was amazed. What kind of a wisdom is this? And she wanted me to elaborate to her. And this is the moment I was trying to tell her. There's a lot of things that God demands from us.
Oh, yes.
A lot of things. God demands righteousness,
yes.
holiness,
yes.
faithfulness,
humility.
All of these things sometimes God demands from us.
Yeah,
and
grace
the grace demands from us.
You don't demand from
We don't demand from the grace. Just as we said previously, we don't demand from the grace.
The grace
demands from us. And so the moment we meet the demands of the grace,
supply,
there's so much. There's a business. There's something great that takes place in nations.
Yes.
There's something great that takes place here in the world.
Yes.
The moment we meet the demands of God,
when the demand of God is met,
it's met.
I'm
telling you, there's a business.
Yes.
What is that business? The business that Christ came to do.
Yeah, God's business.
God's business.
Yes.
To bring in salvation.
Yes.
And so that is what God was doing. And it's like, she was amazed. And she asked me, Joel, please help me to understand. How can we know that God is demanding from us? It was pretty a very tough question for me to answer, but I thank God for He really gave me a little of a point to really try and
answer that question.
Answer the question.
Can we know what God demanding from us?
Because it was she asked me from a very high level, and I told her, you know, I never had an answer the answer to really satisfy her heart. But I told God also at the same time, God help me out to really help her to understand what this thing means. Because it came from a higher level, from the understanding from my father. And it's something that I've been meditating about it over and over.
Yes.
You know, when you meditate upon something, it becomes part of you.
New and
it becomes,
part of
it
you.
becomes new.
Flesh.
Exactly. So I told her, the moment you begin walking with God, God every single time reveals Himself to you. And the more He reveals Himself to you, He comes up with the new lifestyles that He requires from you.
Yes.
It's like a certain posture of life. You are supposed to be like this. Those like demand. When you meet the demands that are coming from God, there's something great God does.
Something is happening here.
Something is happening. So she was amazed, and she told me, Joel, can I take a snapshot? Because what you are talking about here, some of them have been going through, and some of them is like I found myself like sometimes going against what God is saying. It's like she also said, "Oh, Joel, I really want to walk with God. I really want to walk with God. I really want to know this God more and more." And it's like she took the snapshots of those of those small short wisdom, and she just had them in her phone, and she told me, write more and be giving me and read. It's like, and she told me, I pray, Joel, that a time will come that you will make it to the university level. Whereby you will be able to share with people this kind of things, because this is rich in wisdom. It is rich in wisdom. And yeah, it was
And right now
amazing.
you're in the University of God. You're sharing. You're in God's university right now. Sharing with so many people.
Sharing with the globe, and I
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
God for what God has done. It was not just Madame Rose. There was also another teacher whom just loved me just very much. She just loved me that way. She was my biology teacher.
Wow, this
She
is
was-
saying the teacher.
This is another teacher,
Okay.
biology teacher. And she was also teaching agriculture. Oh my goodness, the teacher was smart. She was called Madame Sylvia, and it's like
Madam Sylvia.
Madame Sylvia. And she really loved me that much, very much. And it's like, hey, I could not really understand this love. And sometimes she just used to call me, and we just spend time. And there's a time she was the teacher on duty, and she came on the class in the mornings. And it's the hour when people are about to go home, so people are reluctant.
Yes.
They don't really see the need of continuing with education or studying. So it's like, we are going home. What is the need for us to study? And she found me in the class that day, alone in the class. Alone, one student alone. Going in every stream, finding me alone in the class. And she told me, hey Joel, what you have done, it's amazing. You're even if you're struggling with the biology, my son. She used to call me my son. Even though you are struggling with biology, my son, I'm telling you, Joel, you will make it.
You will make it.
You will be great, and you will be shocked. You will be shocked. Continue the way you are. You will be shocked. I have no time to tell somebody who don't really want, who is not willing to do what is required in the school to do. It's like, you're not willing to do what the teacher's telling you. Why forcing you to do it? It's like, people also at the same time never valued her words and what she used to tell them. It was
They
like
took
a
the words
repetition
for granted.
and also the way they are performing. They never wanted to really do as the teacher wants them to do. And so it reached a point where the teacher said, I will never even cane you. I will never even bother. I will be just giving you an exam, and mine use that. I'll be coming and teaching in the class, and mine you is done. It's like, that is how it ended. But here, I also had a friend of mine who was called Ruben Kimani. We also used to go to her for just to discuss and talk together.
Yes.
At this moment, we just used to talk together. She was like a mother to us. Just talk together. Sometimes she used to call me for biology papers, just to come in.
I think because of the way the other students were performing and showing how they're not all interested, and she found some people that are interested. Her heart.
Exactly. And she told me there's a time she was giving me some papers, which was combined from Form 1 to Form 4. But she told me major a lot in Form 1 and Form 2. This is where these things are being tested a lot. So do this. You can do it, Joel. Biology, you can do it. I'm seeing you are struggling, but you can do it, Joel.
You can do it.
You try your best. Do your best. You can do it. She used to encourage me a lot. These are teachers who had passion for those students.
Again, we are saying that teaching,
it's not just a profession.
it's more than a profession.
Yeah.
It's a calling.
It's a calling.
Teaching is a calling.
Exactly. And she helped me a lot together with Madame Rose. And there's a time now, before we closed the school, this is the time also she's transferring to another school.
Okay. Wow.
And it really discouraged me a bit. And I went to Madame Rose and I told her, hey, why is she going? I needed more explanation and understanding. Why is she going? She's one of
It's
the
like
best
your
teachers.
heart has left.
Exactly. She's one of the teachers who have been really inspiring me and really helping me and supporting me in how I can pass biology. Why is she going? She told me, my son, I want you to understand this. That when God gives an opportunity, that's how, we cannot stop that opportunity.
Yeah. It's her opportunity.
It's our opportunity.
And
so,
probably God gave her that opportunity because of what she did to you.
Oh, yeah. We don't know, but I thank God for everything. And so here is also when we are going now home. It's a time now we are going home.
Yeah.
and going home with the same depression, and my heart is low. I went home, and one of the first questions that Dad used to ask me was, "My son, how was school? How is your grades? How are you performing?" And it's like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm okay, but you know, there's a lot that I'm going through." I came when my face was like, oh my goodness, you know, the father could just see, there's something here, there's something here. And I started sharing with him my problems and my struggles in school, how sciences became such a tough mountain to me. When I'm sharing to him my grades and how I'm dropping, looked at me, looked at me.
Looked at you.
And this moment is like there's something he sensed. It's like there's something he sensed. You know, there's something, he just sensed something that made him like, he became now aggressive. I never knew why, but he became aggressive, not in terms of the part of the grades. There's something he wanted to fight with, but I never knew. But at the end of it, I found, oh my goodness, this is a struggle that I was with. It's now leaving me.
Wow.
He told me, "My son, don't you know who you are? Don't you know who you are? You're not being defined by the grades.
Yeah.
My son, you don't know who you are. Can't you remember what you've received?" And he told me, "You're not being defined by A grade or B grade or C or D or E. You're not being defined by these things. There's something else that have defined you. There's something else that is defining you.
Our definition is
coming from God. Hello. There's something you've received, something so big.
It's God who defines us."
And he told me something that I will never forget. You have received something that even millionaires or billionaires or even professors cannot comprehend. Or even those people who have huge classes in the world, they cannot even fit in or comprehend.
Oh
they have been defined by what they have got, what they have achieved. But you have been defined from above. Your reality have defined you.
Oh my God.
That is God. And when he told me these things, I felt as if I'm being freed from a certain jail, from a certain prison. There's something that locked me.
Yeah.
He was fighting a certain spirit that locked my life.
Yeah, it was a spirit. It was
a spirit that came to define me wrong. That came to try to tilt my faith.
And
you know,
crush you.
and crush me. Was fighting. And at this moment, also this is a message for parents. When a student comes from school, and sometimes it's grades or her grades are dropping, you know, maybe she shall perform poorly. Don't just say you are a cow, or don't just insult your child. Do not do that. You know, the child is compressed, it's frustrated.
Yeah.
You know, do not just do that.
Or don't even regret where you have taken her to the school, you have paid the school fees,
exactly.
raising her.
The child is not being defined by the grades, by whatever God is revealing from above. And if you are saved, fight with the spirit, not the child.
Yeah. Fight with the spirit. Wrestle the spirit.
You know those words who are wrestling that certain spirit in my life?
Yes. The spirit of despair, discouragement.
And to bring me back into the same place, the same position that I was in the spirit.
Yes.
That is a father. That is a mother. And if you want to be that mother, let God define you. Let God come in your life and define you. You will know how to bring up your children. And my father used to tell me that wisdom is justified by the children.
By her children.
By her children, exactly. By her children. It's like that wisdom will only be seen from the children. If people want to see the wisdom of a father, look at the children. If people want to see the wisdom of a mother, look at the children.
And also the children here sometimes may refer to the product, the byproduct.
Oh yeah.
You know, you are wise. Let me see.
Yeah.
By your actions, by your life. The fruits.
Yes.
You know, your children are the fruits, the offspring. So if you're wise, that wisdom will be revealed in your life.
Oh, yes.
People will be able to look at your life and say,
yeah,
you're wise.
You're wise.
Not see the wisdom.
Not necessarily speaking your wisdom
You see
out.
the Queen of Sheba, when he visited Solomon.
Yeah.
She had already heard about Solomon.
Yes.
But when she came in person,
yes.
she told Solomon, I've heard. I had already heard about you. But what I heard is half.
It's half. Not
compared to what I've seen.
Oh my goodness.
The way Solomon arranged his cabinet, the way he was living, his government, his own life. Wisdom that nobody else had. So what she saw justified
and
what she had heard.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that is it.
It's very powerful what you're saying.
Yeah,
and I agree with you.
And you see, so those are now fathers and mothers. Let God define you, and that wisdom will just flow to your children, and you're able to raise your children into a certain angle, to take a certain graph in life. And so that was it, and it's like I found a relief. I found being
restored back.
Yeah. And I don't know what was disturbing my mind, you know. And so now Form 4s were left doing an examination, us back at home for some few months, just to relax a bit.
And then you went back.
Went back, but I thank God for everything. And that is it. Know that that kid, you are just able to raise him or her. When you're strong in God, when God comes and defines you, and may God bless you. I don't have much. Yeah, may God bless you.
Amen.